Cancer rising. These September eclipses will shake you. Finances, values, and sense of stability. You may need to release old attachments around money, possessions, and family expectations. So you can step into deeper transformations, shared resources, and stronger resilience. It may feel like your security is being tested, but the goal to build the more lasting foundation. Eclipses happen when Sun and Moon aligns with Rahu and Ketu, the karmic points of growth and release. They highlight the weak points, they don't break what is solid. So if a stream of income, a family dynamics, or a way you've been handled money collapses, it's because it wasn't sustainable. And if new resources, deeper bonds, or new opportunities for growth appear, it's because you were already moving toward them. That's why eclipses feel sudden, but in reality they were building up for months. Rahu and Ketu stay in one pair of signs for about 18 months, setting the main karmic themes. Since May 2025, Rahu is in your 8th house and Ketu is in your 2nd house. Ketu in the 2nd house will make you release the attachments related to income, possessions, family approval, or habits with food and speech that no longer serve you. Rahu in 8th house, growth comes through finances, investments, managing debts, intimacy, and facing sudden changes directly. For the next 18 months, this axis will test you how much you depend on external stability versus how well you adapt and transform. These eclipses are like accelerators, speeding up what Rahu and Ketu are already teaching. What could this mean for Cancer rising? In practice, this could mean a job or personal income ends, but you gain through shared resources like a partner's finances, a loan, or an investment. Inheritance, taxes, or insurance issues can come to the surface. Family expectation about money or possessions might feel restrictive, and you may need to step away from them. Eating habits and speech patterns might be tested. For example, needing to cut certain foods or learning to speak more honestly instead of keeping peace. A sense of safety net could shift, forcing you to find independence instead of leaning on family or possessions. On the positive side, Rahu in the 8th house can bring breakthroughs, like healing an old trauma, building deeper intimacy, or finding strength in transformation. Some of you may feel drawn to therapy, astrology, or other healing practices that might help you find hidden parts of yourself. As we already know, the lunar eclipse is happening on September 7th and the solar eclipse on September 21st. These 2 weeks are the most unstable. Additionally, the effects of the eclipses will be felt about 6 months. So what could happen? A sudden financial change, like loss of income, unexpected expenses, or a partner's financial situation shifts. Intense money conversations about family inheritance, shared property, or debts. A health or diet issue may peak, forcing changes in how you care for your body. Emotional security about instability may fire up suddenly. What should you do? Don't sign major financial agreements or make large purchases until after September 21st. Don't cling to possessions or routines if they clearly don't work anymore. Observe what comes up, then act once the eclipse energy settles. It's important to check the rulers of Rahu and Ketu in your personal chart to see deeper how this eclipse will affect you. The ruler of your 2nd house is Sun and the ruler of your 8th house is Saturn. If your Sun in your chart is strong, you will reorganize your finances and values with confidence. It will be easier to let go of attachments like family approval or pride in possessions because your self-worth doesn't depend on them. But if your Sun is weak, you may feel insecure when your income or family traditions shift. Letting go will feel harder at first. If the Saturn is strong in your chart, you will face financial debts, investments with structure and discipline. For example, carefully restructuring a loan or managing a shared property issue. If your Saturn is weak, you may feel overwhelmed financial obligations, or resist facing uncomfortable truths about intimacy or shared money. Of course, in astrology, we need to consider more points at once when analyzing something in a chart. And it's really important to analyze this eclipse with two other important transits, the transit of Jupiter and the transit of Saturn. Saturn is the planet which forces us to work on discipline, structure, and limitations, and Jupiter is the planet which brings us growth and new opportunities. Saturn is in your 9th house since April 2025. It asks you to take responsibility for your beliefs, educations, or legal matters. If you already have been working on long-term education or building discipline in your worldview or clarifying your direction, this eclipse will feel less chaotic. For example, you've been preparing for international travel or immigration paperwork. The eclipse brings the deadline or approval suddenly. Jupiter is in your 12th house in Gemini. Growth comes through letting go, traveling, spirituality, or healing. For example, while finances and family matters might feel unstable, you may benefit from stepping back, traveling abroad, or practicing inner healing. However, Saturn builds structure in your belief systems and Jupiter expands your inner world and asks for effort, the other offers release. How to handle this eclipse season? Be proactive with finances. Review debts, taxes, shared resources. Don't overspend or cling to possessions out of fear. Release family values or patterns that no longer define you. Use this period to heal. Therapy, meditation, spiritual practices help. Remember, true security is inner resilience, not just property or money. For Cancer rising, this eclipse season is testing your relationship with money, family patterns, and transformations. If you let go of outdated attachments, you will step into a stronger resilience and deeper intimacy. You may feel like you are losing comfort, but actually you are gaining power. And if you have planets in Aquarius or Leo, this eclipse will hit you harder. Next, we will look at what eclipses mean for Leo rising.